What up? What up? It's Raw Cut Friday, baby. We back at it. It's been a lot going on, so I ain't even really thought about what I wanted to even talk about today. You know what I'm saying? Normally, I have a topic and then I just go off top of the head, but I mean, there's so much that been going on. Could just do a lot, but um, damn, yeah. But I did see. It's been a lot of talk about aliens and stuff going on. Obama was talking about the aliens was real, essentially. Obama just dropped. Not Obama. Trump just dropped a message, a tweet or something, talking about he about to direct all the Department of War and all the state agencies to dig in and release any files that they have on UFOs and extraterrestrial stuff due to the interests of, the public. So it's been a lot of talk going on and a lot of things, videos surfacing of past Navy command officers and military officers talking about their experiences and different things. A lot of them legit. A lot of them are legit. Some of them is kind of hocus pocus, smoke and mirrors, and then you always got your the little videos like the AI. I forget the one little tabloid, the one newspaper that used to always be in the like the grocery store that was always had like, it seemed like it'd be fake. Most of the times it was fake, but it always had like real fantastical stuff. It was like a little newspaper magazine. Damn, I can't think of the name of that junk. But like, social media is taking that over really, and AI is taking that to a whole nother level. But some of these things are real. Some of these things have been real claims. I was talking to a homie the other day about some of the experiences and encounters that I've seen personally with my own eyes. I haven't seen any big, tall, grayish green men with buggy eyes and stuff, but I have seen a lot of unexplainable things and some explainable things that were really skeptical, or just for instance, I was in Knoxville, Tennessee at one point. Might have been around like 2013, 2014, right off our road, Yarnell Road. It was like this big flashing lights going crazy, da da da, in the sky, and then there's like a big crash, just boom, like right by our house. Like it seemingly looked like it was in somebody's backyard, right off the road, because it was a 2-lane road. Going one way, one direction this way, the other direction that way. And like a lot of weaves and turns and stuff, but there were houses off of, Tennessee and Knoxville's really a lot of hills, peaks and valleys, and a lot of trees everywhere. But yeah, so we seen that like boom crash, like we kept driving like nah, we weren't like right by it, but we were approaching it, and then we had to pass by it to get to our house, which is like a block down, if that. But so we weren't about to go back and see what the hell that was. But the next morning, we going to drop the kids off or whatever it is. It was early in the morning. It was like 5 Humvees, Army military Humvees over there. It was they had it like roped off, quarantined off. They over the next couple of days they started building like a campsite, tents, and all these different things. I'm not sure what they did with the residents that was in the in that area, because it was like right in between 2 houses, but it looked like it was in the backyard of one. I'm not sure what happened to those people. I didn't really know the people. I don't even know if anybody even stayed there, but we saw it every day because it was on the main road how you get to our house. So yeah, but it wasn't like they said it was a military experiment, like the Air Force was doing something and one of a helicopter crashed, but it wasn't that. I know what a helicopter looked like. I know what the experiment. And it could have been a Space Force. Space Force is part of the Air Force now, but I've been around enough, stayed by bases. In Jacksonville, Florida, we had NSA Jax. In Las Vegas, we got Nellis Air Force Base. You hear them, you see them, you do things. Knoxville, you got the air base that's out by Maryville. So no stranger to military activity. So it wasn't that. Unless they were testing some new shit out, like some new crafts or whatever it was. But it was like big flashing strobing lights. I don't know if it's because maybe if it was crashing because it was spinning around, so the lights would strobe a little bit. It'd be like woo, woo, woo. So if you crash, and if like you see in the movies, if the tail of a helicopter gets hit, it starts to spin or some shit. But it didn't really make a loud crashing noise or a big explosion. There was noise. There was like, some, not a big vibration, not tremor, but it was noticeable. And I mean, but I don't know. It was really the aftermath of it more so is what raised the suspicions, because it's like every day there were like more Humvees that had come off and on the road, big dump truck style, military grade dump trucks coming in and off the road, like they're transporting stuff off and on. And from the, now the site, what was like a backyard, but it was some wild stuff going on. In Knoxville, East Tennessee is one of those areas, known to have high activity, especially like in the woods, like Smoky Mountains and different things, and a lot of conspiracies, because it's a government site. You got the Oak Ridge National Lab right there, 10-15 minutes away. You got Asheville and the coal mines, going a little bit more toward, the Tri-City areas, or toward the east, more East Tennessee, like the east you can get. Then you got the Smoky Mountains, a lot of conspiracies about that, like why they actually smoking and shit. So East Tennessee does have a lot of mystery behind it, especially going back to the Manhattan Project and why they chose that site, Oak Ridge, East Tennessee, to build and to store the, nation's stockpile of uranium, plutonium grade bomb ready stuff like that. But, Y-12 and all the different government facilities there. But it was interesting. Then we moved to Vegas, not like probably like our second or third year when we were in Vegas. It was the big thing that was all over the news about people actually saw something crashed in the backyard, and they actually saw the figures, and then they actually had like video of this stuff, like something with the gate and everything. I mean, it was on the news. I saw a clip about it the other day. It was one of like the more convincing ones in recent memory. But I do know a couple of people that say that they were around or they knew the people, and just blah blah blah. But that it was actually like legit, real deal. It wasn't no, it wasn't no, I'm trying to get some attention shit. Like, it was actually something real there, regardless of what it was, regardless of what they saw, or what they think they saw. It was a lot of extra activity to say, the least. And then, I mean, it's been a lot of stuff going on, but it's just funny that all of that stuff is coming up now. I had those two experiences. One was like really direct in front of me. Then I had another one that was, not too far from me, in real time. And then, you got all these different former presidents and current presidents making these things and all this. So real interesting times in the world. That really wasn't what I was coming here to talk about, but kind of thought I'd dive into that a little bit. But yeah, out here in Orlando, baby, my youngest about to play in the Worlds, or like ESPN Worldwide of Sports flag football rival tournament. Top 4 get junior national berth. I think championship game might be on. I think it's gonna be on ESPN 2, something like that. Yeah, man. So we out here rocking it. So it's still Thursday. I'm in the car. Like, I feel like I'm every Thursday night, no matter where I'm at, I always end up in the car recording these raw cut Fridays, so I can have it ready to post in the morning. But I may be dropping coming through dropping some regular posts, some clips instead of the normal clips of this post, just depending on who I see tomorrow, who I run into. Already, some of our teammates ran into Devin Hester today. Saw Drew Brees was out there promoting it. He was out there walking around amongst the crowd. So a lot of big names in the sport, in football, a lot of celebrities, a lot of current players, former players, a lot of legends. So, if I get one of them, I might have to throw like the little 60-second rapid fire, describe your personality in one word, tequila, whiskey, pull up a hoodie, zip up hoodie, see how fast I can pop that off. Hopefully, hopefully the audio come through pretty good, because I ain't really, bring no equipment. I ain't bring like no external mics. I ain't bring none of that. But, they say closed mouths don't get fed. So, if I pull up on one, I see one, I'm pull up on them, ask them, So I may come back with none. I may come back with a ton. You never know. Hopefully the ones that I do get, if I do get any, that, it'll be, it'll be audible. You'll be able to hear it clearly, in a sense, where I won't have to do too much, or won't have to scrap nothing because you can't hear it. Just have to take a screenshot, post a pic or something like that. But yeah, all in all, see, 10 minutes, baby. All right, that's it. Raw Cut Friday. Signing out.